Pioneer fans, Pioneer Women's Varsity Hockey is live and on the air. We are live here at Veterans Memorial Ice Arena, where it is your Pioneer Women's Hockey Varsity Hockey team taking on Livonia United. Taking a look at the schedule so far for Pioneer. They have 4 wins, 1 draw, and that is no losses. And we take a look here. Always helpful if I get the right sheet of paper up. Pioneer beat Skyline back on the 5th of this month, 8-3. They then tied Washjaw United 4-4. That was back on the 8th. They were able to beat Sacred Heart United 8-0. Then they visited Plymouth Canton Salem, beat them 8-0. And then on the 16th, Pioneer played St. Clair Shores, and that game was a 6-0 win by Pioneer. They are playing Livonia United today at 7 p.m. They're playing Bloomfield Birmingham tomorrow. That's going to be at 1:45 p.m. We will not be able to broadcast that game because we are on the road with Michigan women's hockey out in the Grand Rapids area as they play Aquinas. So forgive us, but please get down to Vets. Check out that fantastic Sunday afternoon game. Just record the Lions game and watch it afterwards. It's better that way anyway, and you can check that out. So 4-1 and 0 for Pioneer. Taking a look at Livonia United. They had an exhibition game versus Belle Tire. No score reported there. They played Walled Lake back on the 5th. And that was a 1-0 win that over at Eddie Egger Ice Arena. They hosted Washjaw United and beat them 3-0. And then they played on the 17th over at Down River United and won that game 5-2. So 2 teams that have done very well in the early parts of the season. Taking a look at that last game for Pioneer, if I can pull up the right tab. 6-0 Pioneer had 41 shots on goal versus St. Clair Shores in their last game. St. Clair Shores had 25 shots on goal. Pioneer scored 1 in the first to lead 1-0, 5 in the second, and no scoring in the third. Shots on goal we talked about. It was Soriano in between the pipes for Pioneer. She played 45 minutes and got the shutout. Kemner had was between the pipes for St. Clair Shores. Heben had a goal, her 7th of the season. That at 1 minute in the first period. That from Pace and Housen. And then at 6:22 in the second, it was Kang, her 3rd of the season from Portinga. And then at 5:23 left to go there in the second, it was Pace with her 2nd goal of the season unassisted. Then at 3:08, it was Bergman scoring her 1st of the season from Fainter, her 3rd assist from this season. Then at 1:25, it was Shikachi who scored her 3rd of the season. That from Cundith, her 4th assist of the season. Alexis Young, her 5th assist of the season. And then finally, with 20 seconds left in the second, it was Housen with her 3rd goal of the season. And that from Heben, her 4th assist. And Pace, her 7th assist of the season for both of those players. Taking a look at the top point getters for Pioneer. By the way, they are having a holiday wreath fundraiser. Put your orders in by December 1st. They are handmade with real balsam fir, shipped directly to your home. We've gotten them the last several years. They are beautiful. I have to get the middle one because the big one is too big for my door. So they have serious, real, amazing wreaths. Go check it out at Pwice, PWICE.net. Taking a look, top point getter Heben has 11 points on 7 goals and 4 assists for Pioneer. Number 2 is Pace. She has 9 points on 2 goals and 7 assists. Portinga has 8 points on 4 goals and 4 assists. Shikachi has 7 points on 3 goals and 4 assists. Cundiff has 6 points on 2 goals and 4 assists, rounding out the top 5. Taking a look over at Livonia United. And let's see if I can pull up their last game here. Let's see if I can click the links and get to where things are at. There we go. So there's their last versus Downriver. That was over at the Kennedy Ice Center. No shots on goal recorded. Livonia United scored first in the first period. 1-0 at the end of one. They scored 3 in the second. Downriver scored 2 in the second for a 4-2 lead at the end of 2. And then Livonia United scored 1 in the third to make it a 5-2 win. Taking a look, goaltending, it was Ferris who got the goal, got the win for Livonia United, and Nizagoski who took the loss for Downriver United. It started off with a goal by Stevenson, her first of the season. Otto with the assist, that at 11:25 for Livonia United. Then in the second period, it was 2 goals by Downriver United. Renaud scored her third of the season from Jacoby. That was her first assist. And then Renaud scored her fourth of the season, that at 10:49 from Glennaw and Calise. And then it was Stevens scoring her second of the season unassisted to tie up the game 2-2. That at 10:40. Then the game-winning goal by Conti. She got the assist from Otto and Stevens. That was the game-winning goal at 8:38. And Conti scored her second unassisted at 5:50. The final goal in the third period was by Howell, her first of the season. That assist was to Shrivastava. I'll get that right during the game, hopefully, with the assist out there. Taking a look at the top point getters for this Livonia team with 4 points is Stevens. She has 3 goals and 1 assist. 3 points for Conti. She has 3 goals. 2 points for Hal. She has 2 goals. Otto has 2 assists for 2 points. And it's a tie at the number 5 spot. Knapp has a goal for a point. Shipley has an assist for a point. And Shrivastava has a assist for a point. That is all the point scorers for Livonia. Overall standings, Pioneer up at the top, 4-0-1 on the season. And then Bloomfield, Birmingham right behind them with 4 wins and 3 losses. This is just the number of points ends up with 8 for Bloomfield. And then Livonia United with 3 wins, no losses. They have 6 points, so they are 2 points behind Bloomfield and 3 points behind Pioneer. Cranbrook with 2 wins, 2 ties, has 6 points. They're in the number 4 spot. Wallach in the number 5 spot with 2 wins, 2 losses, and a draw for 5 points. Also with 5 points is Regina Lutheran North Austin. They have 2 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw for 5 points. Washtenaw United has 1 win, 2 losses, 1 draw for 3 points. Skyline has 1 win, now 5 losses as they just played, so they have 2 points. And Grosse Pointe, I think that is South. They have 3 losses out there. Taking a look, by the way, it was, did I write that down properly? I think it was Skyron 6 and Grosse Pointe North 11 in the game right before us. I wrote down, I was going to write down the score, and then I got distracted by trying to get our broadcast going. So I'm easily distracted. I'm willing to admit that, but I try my best. So counting down, getting ready to go. Pioneer in their home whites with the purple stripe across the middle, numbers on the back. And on the sleeves, they have the dark pants, the socks with predominantly white with a black or a dark purple stripe on them, and the dark helmets. Livonia United is in their red, white, and blues. They have predominantly blue with the red and white trim on the shoulders, as well as on the middle, red and white trim down the sides of their dark blue pants, and red and white trim on their dark blue socks. They have all white helmets. That's excellent. Sometimes you see a good combination of helmets out there. So we're excited to get this one going as they're counting down. Let's play a couple messages from the MHSAA, and we will be right back with the opening puck drop.
Maybe you've seen the videos of the specialized sports parent support group, or the kid holding a press conference to announce his retirement from sports. The problem is, they'd be really funny if there wasn't a lot of truth there. Multi-sport participation provides a healthier experience and lifestyle for kids and families. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Sportsmanship is still relevant in school sports. Good sportsmanship should be a given at our games. It's one of the primary reasons we have school sports to begin with, to help today's young people become tomorrow's community leaders. You can learn more about sportsmanship and download a full kit of sportsmanship ideas from the MHSAA website at mhsaa.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Why do high school sports really exist? For 99% of the participants, it's the biggest stage they will ever play on, and it provides the most educational value, teaching sportsmanship, ethics, integrity, hard work, and teamwork. It's about playing with local friends against local rivals and creating lifetime relationships. They build community spirit, and they're worthy of your continued support. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
As we're about to get ready to go here, both teams lined up as 22nd year of Pioneer Women's Hockey is Mr. Lon over on the mic. Shipley comes out to the blue line, starting for Livonia. Conti comes out. Stevens also coming out. Howell skates out to the blue line. Ferris coming out, and that was Henderson, the other person. So Livonia United out now, Pioneer. Here comes your Pioneers. Young heads out to the blue line. Chikachi coming out to the blue line. Portinga coming out to the blue line. Cundiff heads out to the blue line. Estella Young heading out to the blue line. Soriano starts off between the pipes for Pioneer. And ladies and gentlemen, now to honor America, the playing of the national anthem.
Before today's game, let's take a moment to show our appreciation for our country. We invite those who are able to please rise, and as a sign of respect, remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Right now, both of these teams are undefeated. One of them will end up with their first loss of the season. So both teams doing very, very well thus far. Pioneer gathered around their coaching staff, getting their helmets put on and ready to go. On the other side, Livonia United gathered around their goal over to our left. As Pioneer will be going from right to left here in this opening period. Last moment instructions from Coach Harrison Lay. Granthams both on the bench. Always fantastic to see them. As well as Elise Johnson. Heading out. Ready to take the face-off. Stevens. Set versus Portinga. Portinga with the captaincy for Pioneer as going to put one of their goalies over in the penalty box. Probably just to get a little bit more room on the bench there. As we are underway, that puck in along the far board. Chikachi trying to fire it ahead. Stevens puts it right in front of the box. Now Estella Young fires it into Livonia zone. Picked up by Howell. Howell coming down the far boards. Trying to hold it in is Pioneer. That picked up. Esch heading the other direction, right at center ice. Estella Young trying to knock that away from her as that puck goes down into the Pioneer end. Cundiff back behind her own goal, feeds it down the far boards. Picked up by Chikachi. Chikachi held in at the far point by Roberts. That heads right back behind the Pioneer bench. Down the near boards. Held in as Estella Young tried to fire it out there. Howell holds it in. Now that puck over onto the far corner for Shipley. And did it make it in? It made it in. It is a goal by Shipley. And at 14-15. So Livonia goal, that by Shipley, opens up the scoring. 1-0. Livonia with the lead. Taking the faceoff back over there is Knapp. The puck getting along the far boards. Trying to feed it ahead is Conti. So Livonia out to an early lead. That down the near boards. Otto with it, trying to knock that away is Alexis Young coming through the slot. Now that puck getting along the far boards. Grab back over there into the far corner. Now here comes Pioneer trying to get it out of the zone as even. Now fed ahead. That'll come all the way down. As Rosenfeld trying to get to it, brought right back in. As that sent back deep by Roberts. That puck into the far corner. Chipped around the boards. Trying to hold it back in. Monasala. Puck in along the near boards. Grab. Trying to fire it right back deep as Henderson. A puck into the slot. Knocked away by Heben. Now comes in along the far boards. Horvath has it for Pioneer. Horvath trying to feed it to center ice. Intercepted by Stevens. Stevens gains his own. Stevens on the far circle coming in. Shot there. As 13-10 left to go. As goal there by Livonia, I believe, trying to catch. I think it was Stevens. That at the 13-10 mark. 2-0 Livonia with the lead as the Pioneer team gathers around Soriano, trying to make sure that her confidence is up. It is not an easy thing to be the netminder in any sport. Hockey, definitely a tough position and really a very important position. Hard one to get a lot of people to play too, as we really appreciate all the netminders that we have and all the folks willing, especially who didn't start off that way. So again, it was Stevens who got that goal. That puck coming in along the near boards. Howell holds it in deep into the Pioneer zone. Cundiff chases it back. Cundiff into the near corner. That puck fired into the slot and in. That is a goal by Livonia. It was tipped and came around the far side. I'm not sure who will get credit for that one. As Soriano tried to grab it, popped up, tried to get it with the glove. That is going to be a goal by Hammond. So 3 different players with Livonia goals here. Early on, Soriano kind of down on her knees, the entire Pioneer team around her. Trainer coming out to check her out. 3-0 Livonia with the lead. We hope Soriano's all right. Physically as well as not being too hard on herself or trying to have the mind of a goldfish and just let it go and focus. So again, trainer just making sure Soriano's all right. We keep our fingers crossed that she's doing okay. We love this sport, love to see all the players play their guts out, but you don't want to see any of these amazing young athletes get injured. Ravelli is kind of trying to stretch out a little bit to the right-hand side of the bench just in case Soriano can't continue to go. Again, coach talking to her, the trainer talking to her, trying to make sure everything's all right. Great start by Livonia, tough start by the Pioneers. So goals by Shipley, by Stevenson, and by Hammond have Livonia United up on Pioneer. Hoping Pioneer can make a nice big comeback here. Well, this Livonia team does look good. Ravelli comes out. Ravelli's going to skate over. We really hope Soriano's okay. So now Ravelli skates back towards the bench. Looks like Soriano's going to be all right. We are very, very glad about that. 12:49 left to go here in the first, 3-0. Pioneer has their work cut out for them as they're going to need to have a really solid rest of this first. Try and climb back into this game versus a very good undefeated Livonia team. Fainter in to take the face off. Stevens on the other side. That puck in along the near boards. Funny enough, when looking at the who's from where, Livonia, Stevenson, and Franklin, as well as Churchill, making up this Livonia United team. And Stevens is from Livonia, Franklin, not Livonia Stevenson. So that's just how that goes sometimes, right? Face-off just outside of the Pioneer zone in the far face-off circle. Fainter in to take that face-off. On the other side is Knapp. Puck in along the far boards. Fired right back in deep by Larson. Puck outside the far circle. Tip. Livonia United coming in. Shot there just goes wide. Puck outside the near circle. Trying to get to it is Bacalus. Knocked down in center. Now backhanded out into the neutral zone. That'll go all the way back into Livonia end. That gathered up back there. Coming right back behind the goal. Fed ahead. Alexis Young trying to hold it in. That back, Shipley trying to pull it away. That puck into the near corner. Horvath sends it for a ride around the boards. That gathered up in the far corner as Otto has it and fired in, and that's a goal. Livonia United scores again. That makes it 4-1. That is going to be Shipley with her second goal. That at 11:52. And the mountain gets just a little taller for Pioneer to try and make a big comeback here. You just want some positive things happening here. Ravelli goes in. That gives Soriano a breather. She can take a little bit of a moment to catch her breath on the bench. As that puck coming down the near boards, racing over to get it is Esch. Knocked away as Cundiff had it. Now that pull trying to come down right to the blue line. Austin holds it in. Now grabbed. Here comes Portinga. Portinga over center. Portinga has Chikachi over to her far side. Chikachi has it into the far corner. Chikachi coming right back behind the goal. Chikachi trying to wrap around attempt. That right out in front. Cleared back into the neutral zone. As Estella Young has it down the near boards right in front of the Livonia bench. Battling there. Trying to poke it away. Trying to knock away at it. That brought back by Esch. Now all the way back into the Pioneer zone. Cundiff takes it down the far boards, trying to get away from Shipley. That gathered up. Chikachi coming into the zone. Chikachi offside the call. That puck will come just outside of Livonia zone with 11:02 left to go here in the first. 4-0, Livonia United with the lead. Stevens versus Heben for the face-off just outside Livonia zone on the near face-off circle. That puck right to center ice. Going to grab it as that's fired in by Bergman. Comes right back behind the goal. That's Ferris in the goal. That puck coming in along the near boards. Trying to get to it is Otto. Knocked down the near boards. Now coming ahead with it. Here comes Stevens. That puck knocked down and now fired right to the Pioneer blue line. Comes back to center ice, but now blasted in deep by Stevens as that puck will rim all the way into the near corner. Horvath going to get to it. Horvath trying to pull that away. Livonia United as that's out and fired as Himmel had a blast at it. That puck comes all the way back into the far corner. Right to the blue line. That's able to slip past. Deep into the zone, as that'll be icing, and head back the other direction into the Pioneer end with 10-12 left to go here in the first. 4-0 Livonia with the lead. Stevens looks like they're going to move that into the far face-off circle. Stevens to take the face-off. Eben on the other side. As that puck into the far corner, Cundiff has it. Cundiff trying to move it ahead. Eben trying to pull that away from Stevens. Now coming away with it is that puck outside the near circle. Pioneer moves it ahead as Housen had it. Now coming in, trying to get to it is Eben. Eben right in the slot. Now tip back. Housen looking to get to it, but there's a whistle. Hooking the call. So we'll have our first penalty of the game. It's going to be a hooking call at 9:46. As Livonia penalty, Henderson in for hooking. So Pioneer will be on the power play. They'll have the face-off in the near face-off circle. That to Ferris's right. Ferris wearing the captaincy. Always cool to see a goaltender get that. Portinga puts it into the far corner. That's sent all the way around by Roberts outside the far circle. Eben has it there, trying to get it into the slot. Hammond trying to move it down the near boards as that comes back into the Pioneer zone. Estella Young banks it off the dashers. That goes into the far corner. Portinga trying to get to it. Portinga battling in that far corner as Hammond has it. Now that's sent to the blue line. Here comes Eben through center ice. Eben gets into the zone. Eben outside the far circle. That puck. Chasing it is Knapp. Now there's a shot from the far circle and a save by Ferris. 9:12 left to go here in the first. 1:26 left to go in the Pioneer power play. Pioneer down by 4. They would love to get a goal on this power play. Try and just get one goal, see what happens. Try and get momentum going your way. In to take the face-off on the other side was Knapp. That puck back. Alexis Young has it. Alexis Young, that deflected off of the defender. Grabbed by Horvath. Horvath trying to send it deep. That puck outside the far circle. Now Eben has it at the blue line at the far point. That shot there. Ferris with the save. Puck into the far corner. Portinga sends it out in front. That knocked away. Shikachi playing right in the slot. Shikachi gets it into the far corner. Shikachi back. Eben with a shot. That got blocked as that will come back into the near corner. Portinga trying to get to it. Portinga. And down the near boards. Shikachi trying to get to it. That back out into center as 47 seconds left on the Pioneer power play. Knocked down by Otto, but that goes right back into Livonia zone. Livonia clears it all the way down the ice. Alexis Young goes back to get it, and that's right back behind Ravelli. Alexis Young underneath the near circle. Alexis Young banks it, trying to get it over to Chikachi. That all the way across on the far circle. Now Horvath trying to feed it out of the zone. Grab by Esch. Esch with a shot that just goes wide to the near side for Livonia. Looking for a shorthanded goal. 15 seconds left in the Pioneer power play. Chikachi had it. Now Howell coming in on the near circle. There's a rising shot. And the quick glove by Ravelli keeps that out of the goal. Puck into the slot. Good block there by Alexis Young. That goes into the near corner. Horvath trying to knock it out as it's underneath that near circle. Horvath spinning with it as Livonia back to full strength. Horvath still battling Esch. Now Howell has it. Howell will go over to the far point as he's been trying to knock it out there, but Howell gets it right back behind the goal. Shipley puts it back there. Now that fired. Esch trying to get it outside the near circle. Here comes Pioneer. As that fired right to into Livonia zone. Pulled back by Howell. Howell turns with it, coming down the far boards. Over center ice. Howell has it. Howell skating over the Ann Arbor logo, coming down the near boards. Howell onto the near circle of the Pioneer zone. Right through the slot. That comes back to Roberts at the far point. Roberts trying a shot that got deflected out. Stevens fires it right back in. Livonia has to touch up as that puck knocked down. Trying to steer it away is Estella Young. Estella Young feeds it down the far boards. That'll go deep into Livonia, and that will be icing. At 6:44, it'll come right back into the Pioneer zone. 4-0. Livonia with the lead. Able to kill off the first penalty of the game. 6:54 left to go. That is going to be... Livonia gets to choose. They're going to choose the far face-off circle. It's Conti in to take that face-off. It's in there versus Fainter. Conti into the far corner. Stella Young trying to pull that away as it goes right back behind the Pioneer goal. Into the far corner. Fainter trying to feed it down the far boards. That puck goes down into the Livonia end. It was tipped, so icing waved off. Austin going back to get to it. Austin back behind her own goal into the far corner. Housen trying to get to it. Puck into the near corner. Pioneer centering attempt, but that pulled away. Now coming down the near boards is Knapp. Knapp gains the Pioneer zone. Knapp sends it across. Shot there as Ravelli got enough of a piece of it. As that comes right back behind the Pioneer goal. Good job to steer it away by Fainter as that came right to the near side of the goal. Picked up there. Now here comes Cundiff. Cundiff skating around trying to avoid pressure back there by Otto. That puck right in front of the penalty box is now brought right back into the Pioneer zone as Conti tried to pull that in deep. That'll go back into the Livonia end. Into the far corner. No icing as 5:38 left to go here. That at the near point. Now coming ahead with it, Otto right in front of between the benches. That puck down along the far boards. Woodside has it for Pioneer. Woodside puts it right back behind the goal. That puck on the near circle. Housen trying to poke it over. Grab, trying to turn with it is Fainter. That puck comes over to Otto. Otto bringing it ahead for Livonia. Alexis Young trying to stick with Otto. Otto. And Alexis Young separates Otto from the puck. And now that puck will slip back into the neutral zone. Larson with it there. Knocked away by Portinga. Now coming the other direction. Fired ahead by Alexis Young. Portinga has it outside the far circle. She fires it just wide. That'll deflect into the near corner. As here comes Livonia United. Otto trying to feed it across into the neutral zone. That brought in by Conti. Conti, top of the far circle. Shot there, right through the crease into the far corner. Kong with it there. Kong right back into the neutral zone. Racing ahead with it. Chikachi trying to get to it, but Roberts puts it back to the Pioneer blue line. Right through the center. Here comes Chikachi. Chikachi outside the far circle. She loses an edge, goes down, but pops right back up. That is going to be a penalty for tripping. Pioneer will go back on the power play. As a trip at 4:18. Livonia penalty and into the box. Trying to get a number. As that is going to be Hammond into the box. So Pioneer goes on their second power play, trying to get one past the goalkeeper, Captain Ferris. That puck pulled ahead by Livonia. Coming down the far boards is Howell. Howell gets it over on blue line. Howell coming down the far boards. Howell has Cundiff right in front of her. Howell trying to come in. Shot there. And a save by Ravelli. 4:06 left to go here in the first. Livonia United with a 4-goal lead. Pioneer on the power play. Good save by Ravelli to not give up a shorthanded goal. As Portinga trying to get to it. That puck high. Slopper Roberts slips past. Coming over and along the near boards. Chikachi back to Cundiff. Cundiff at her own blue line. Sends it across the ice over to Portinga right in front of the scores box. Centering attempt that brought in. Chikachi has it onto the near circle. Trying to get around Roberts. Roberts feeds it down the near boards. Cundiff coming over outside the near circle. Cundiff feeds it. Trying to get it into the slot, but that fired all the way down the ice by Knapp. Pioneer will go back to get it with 1:18 left to go here in the power play. Cundiff right back behind her own goal. Cundiff trying to weave through traffic. That tip back into the far corner. Now Heben has it. Heben goes back behind her own goal underneath the near circle. Heben coming down the near boards. Heben cuts through center. Heben over center ice. Feeds it into the near corner of the Livonia zone. Chikachi back to try and get to it. Chikachi right out in front. And off the side of the net. Tipped back as they'll go back into the neutral zone. Bergman has it there. Bergman waits for everyone to touch up. There's a shot on goal. That goes in along the near boards. Chikachi gets it into the near corner, trying to feed it out in front. That poked down and sent all the way around the boards and back to the far point. Bergman holds it in, fires it. That goes right back behind the goal into the far corner. Stevens bringing it up the far corner. Stevens puts on a head of steam into the neutral zone. Portinga trying to knock it away. Portinga down the near boards trying to get it over to Heben. Now Chikachi brings it in. Chikachi in along the end boards, trying to feed it out in front. That puck loose. Now comes in along the near boards outside the near circle. Back over to Alexis Young. Alexis Young takes a shot from the top of the near circle. Portinga tips it. That goes into the far corner. Good opportunity for Pioneer. Heben has it top of the far circle. Shot there just goes wide. Rosenfeld chases it into that near corner. Grabbed as back to full strength is Livonia. Onto the far circle it goes. Now coming ahead with it. Here it comes. Racing ahead with that is Knapp. Knapp into the zone. Knapp trying to feed it out in front. That puck right back behind the Pioneer goal. Gathered up back there by Bergman. Bergman trying to avoid Shipley. That puck back to the far point. Fired and knocked down out there by Larson. That goes into the near corner. Now Esch fires it all the way around the boards. Heben trying to get to it outside the far circle. Heben trying to dig that out. Puck back to the far point. Again, another big shot there by Larson. Goes into the near corner and outside the near circle. Henderson takes it up outside the near circle. Esch into the near corner. Backhanded right back behind the Pioneer goal into the far corner with 1:23 left to go here in the first. That puck gets back to Roberts. Roberts gets it over to Henderson, high slot. Henderson has her shot blocked over by Rosenfeld. Rosenfeld trying to get it out of the zone. Now Bergman chips it back ahead. Here comes Heben. Heben racing ahead with it. Good job getting back. That causes an offside. I believe that was Henderson who just made her way back and stopped a one-on-one with Heben. Face-off outside of the Livonia zone in the far face-off circle. 1:03 left to go. Here in the first, 4-0 Livonia with the lead. As that is Stevens versus Fainter to take the face-off. And puck back to center ice. Now down the far boards. Austin has it in her own zone for Livonia United. Austin back behind her own goal with 52 seconds left to go here in the first. Austin into the neutral zone, fires it as that will go back. And that's going to be icing, sent from the wrong side of center ice. No other Livonia player was able to tip it, and that will come back. And Pioneer gets to pick which circle, so Pioneer will choose the far circle. Fainter in to take that face off. Stevens on the other side. That puck brought back and fired all the way down as it was tipped. Here's a foot race. Cundiff trying to get to it. Cundiff steers it into the far corner, trying to make sure that Conti can't get to it. There's a backhanded shot and a goal by Stevens. As Stevens makes it 5-0, 28 seconds left to go. That is her second goal. She has 2. Shipley has 2. So now a commanding 5-0 lead by Livonia United. Knapp in to take the face-off. Kong coming out to go on the near wing. Chikachi on the far wing. Portinga in center for Pioneer. Austin has it. That down the far boards. Alexis Young gets it right back down into the Livonia end. 20 seconds left to go. That pull back behind the goal. 16 seconds left in the first. Puck in along the near boards of the Livonia end. And down the near boards, Austin trying to get to it. Hammond fires it into the Pioneer zone. 6 seconds left. Puck and along the far boards. And 2-1. That will do it. As at the end of 1, it is Livonia 5 and Pioneer nothing. Pioneer is going to hope for a big second period. Although I do need to mention that if it is a 8-goal differential in the third. The game will end there on a mercy. So Pioneer would really love to get some things going here and make sure that that's not something they have to worry about. But this Livonia team is doing quite well. We'll be right back as a brief break here.
Maybe you've seen the videos of the specialized sports parent support group, or the kid holding a press conference to announce his retirement from sports. The problem is, they'd be really funny if there wasn't a lot of truth there. Multi-sport participation provides a healthier experience and lifestyle for kids and families. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Sportsmanship is still relevant in school sports. Good sportsmanship should be a given at our games. It's one of the primary reasons we have school sports to begin with, to help today's young people become tomorrow's community leaders. You can learn more about sportsmanship and download a full kit of sportsmanship ideas from the MHSAA website at mhsaa.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
As our fantastic PA announcer did just mention again, Pioneer is a self-funded sport, and they are doing a wreath sale. You do need to order by December 1st, so if you want to get the holiday season started off right, just go to PWICE.net and check it out on their website and order a wreath. They are beautiful natural wreaths, and they'll definitely brighten up your holiday decorations. Portinga in to take the face-off versus Stevens as we start off the second period here. Puck in along the near boards. Pioneer going from left to right as that puck high goes back, right back behind. Horvath has it. Back behind Ravelli. Roberts trying to hold it in as that puck ends up back in along the end boards. Roberts has it outside the far circle of her own zone, trying to feed it ahead. Stevens banks it as that will go right back into the Pioneer end. Horvath trying to ricochet it off the far board. Darryl Kong gets it back into the Livonia end. Trying to get it out of there. Battle for it as Roberts trying to feed it out. That puck moved right back to center ice. Now Chikachi trying to get it ahead to Portinga. Stolen away by Stevens. Stevens gains the Pioneer zone. Top of the near circle. Stevens shot. There's a good save by Ravelli. Picked up by Horvath coming down the near boards. Now coming ahead with it, Chikachi. Roberts trying to poke check it away. Chikachi right in front of the Pioneer bench. And fed in by Kong. Now knocked away by Esch. That'll come down the far boards. Sent ahead back over there by Howell. That'll go back deep into the Pioneer zone. Horvath has it underneath the far circle. Horvath trying to send it down the near boards. That was tipped. Grab. There's a shot. And a save into the far corner. A blast by Otto as that puck comes outside the far circle back to the far point where Howell takes a shot. That one deflected into the near corner. Pulled back away there by Shipley. Shipley trying to fire it out in front. Good job by Portinga to steer it back away. Now Otto feeds it back to the far point. That puck ahead. Here comes Pioneer. Chikachi racing back to get it. She's in a foot race with Larson. That puck right back behind the Livonia goal. Trying to fire it out in front of Chikachi. Trying to get to it as Kong. Back over to Kong. Puck wouldn't settle down. Now pulling it. Heben. Over to Chikachi. Chikachi outside the far circle. Chikachi pinned against the far board with Howell. Trying to poke that away. Now Heben trying to get to it. And steered the other direction back into the neutral zone. Racing down the near boards. Stella Young trying to get it right back deep as Chikachi puts it right back behind the Livonia goal. Howell grabs it there. Steers it outside the near circle. Now Howson trying to fire it out in front. That knocked down. Racing ahead with it. Here comes Livonia United coming down the near boards. Is Knapp and offside the call. 12:22 left to go here in the second. 5-0. Livonia United with the lead. Face-off will be right outside of the Pioneer zone in the near face-off circle. Stevens in to take the face-off versus Heben, just right down below us, right by the Huron Skyline logo. That puck knocked down. Austin has it at her own blue line. Austin ricocheting off the far board. As that coming in, trying to get to it is Otto. Puck into the far corner. Cundiff has it there. Cundiff goes right back behind her own goal. Cundiff ricochets it off the near board, but that held in by Larson. Shot there. Good job to knock it down by Estella Young. She feeds it down the near board. Steven picks it up off of the near board. Now pulled away. Here comes Pioneer. Estella Young feeds it all the way back. And that will be icing. In high school, you can change on an icing. So sometimes it's a good move in high school as you can get a new set of players out there in college and pro. You cannot change on an icing. So if you watch the Michigan women's hockey game tomorrow, you'll see if there's an icing, the same group of 5 have to stay out there. Livonia picks the face-off circle over onto the far face-off circle. Stevens in there, ready to take the face-off. Heben on the other side. As a Pioneer player quickly, Stella Young racing to get off the ice. There's the whistle. That puck loose on the far circle. In along the far boards, backhanded by Heben. Now go all the way down the ice. That'll roll on edge back into Livonia zone. That'll be picked up by Henderson back behind her own goal. From the far side to the near side. Henderson coming down the near boards. Rosenfeld trying to chip that away. Now Heben coming in trying to pull it back. Stevens takes it right back from her behind her own goal from the near side to the far side. Stevens gets back into the neutral zone. Stevens coming down the far boards. Gains the Pioneer zone. Stevens, high slot now top of the near circle. Stevens goes into the near corner, firing it out in front. There's a shot and a save by Ravelli. Oh, a blast from Conti right in the slot. Good save by Ravelli. Great shot by Conti. As that moved ahead by Heben, racing down, trying to get to it now is Housen. Housen outside the far circle. That puck shot there and a save by Ferris. A little music from K-pop Demon Hunters going on here. Trying to get everyone fired up. As that puck dropped. Fainter trying to get to it into the far corner. That was two number 18s, Fainter and Knapp trying to battle for it as that puck sent all the way down into the Pioneer end. Cundiff trying to avoid pressure. Back there is coming was Hammond. Puck right at the blue line. Now trying to put it back deep is Larson, but that will be offside. 10:35 left to go here in the second. 5-0. Livonia with the lead. Face-off just outside of the Pioneer zone in the far face-off circle. Again, Fainter in to take the face-off. This time, Knapp back in there with her. Puck in along the far boards right in front of the scorer's bench as that's blasted deep by Larson. Trying to grab it and move it in along the near boards is Bergman. Puck outside the near circle. Now Stella Young racing to get to it. Puck back in along the near boards. Slips past Roberts. Roberts chases it right in front of the Pioneer bench, firing it back the other direction. Now chipped over there by Stella Young. Roberts has it at her own blue line. Fires it over to Larson. Larson trying to avoid pressure as coming over Fainter. That puck outside the far circle. Now Housen with it. Housen trying to work her way, trying to walk in and get a good shot on goal. Housen right back behind the goal. That pulled back. It's coming in along the near boards. Roberts puts it right back into the neutral zone. As that deflected, Cundiff trying to fire it back, and that grab back over there is Hammond has it back behind the Pioneer goal. Hammond comes, backhanded shot. Ravelli with a save. Hammond into the far corner. That puck back to Howe. Howe, top of the far circle with a shot. That one, another save by Ravelli. Puck right back as that'll come in along the near boards. As able to hold it in back there is Tava. As that puck in along the far boards and fired. Oh, good job by Pioneer. Trying to fire it back deep, but that knocked down over there by Bacalus. Cundiff tipped right at the Pioneer blue line, pulled by Howe. Howe keeps it in. Howe with a shot. Another save by Ravelli. That goes right back behind the goal. Down the near boards. Pioneer trying to feed it down the near boards to get it out of there. As Woodside gets it back into the neutral zone. Woodside trying to sweep it head into Livonia, and that picked up by Howe. Howe now trying to make her way down the far boards. Howe fires it back deep into the Pioneer zone. That puck in along the insides, went off of the back of the net, now down the near boards. Bringing it ahead is Cundiff. Cundiff weaving through traffic. Cundiff trying to move it down the far boards over to Portinga. Portinga trying to get past Hal as she's into Livonia end outside to the far circle. Centering attempt is that's covered up by Ferris. 8:24 left to go here in the second. 5-0 Livonia with the lead. Portinga in to take the face off. Stevens on the other side. Gong trying to get a shot. There's another blast by Horvath that got blocked out in front. Puck goes into the far corner. Portinga trying to get to it. Moved over. Chikachi. Shot there. Got blocked. Couldn't quite get through traffic as they'll go deflect back into the neutral zone. Alexis Young coming down the far boards. Alexis Young trying to get past as that puck into the far corner. Austin feeds it down the far boards. Picked up there, trying to move it ahead was Hammond. Battle for it at the far point. Now that's sent all the way deep into the Pioneer zone. Horvath racing back to get to it. That puck back behind the Pioneer goal, rims all the way around the near boards as Kong has it there. Now Horvath trying to knock it away from Stevens. Stevens as that knocked right back into the neutral zone, gathered up there by Austin. Austin down the near boards over to Roberts. Roberts gets it ahead to Stevens. Stevens gains the zone. Top of the near circle. Stevens trying to weave her way through traffic. Stevens coming in, goes back behind the goal, wrap around attempt, and a goal. Stevens makes it a hat trick. As that makes it 6-0. Ravelli has done a good job on a couple really tough shots, but that one trying to get from one side to another, and Stevens just able to put it in, or no, was that Shipley? Shipley went through the circle first, so Shipley, that would be a hat trick. They both had 2 goals. So Livonia goal there makes it 6-0. Pioneer wants to keep Livonia from getting 2 more goals in this period. If they have an 8-0 lead at the end of the second, we will not have a third period. Or if they have an 8-goal lead, be it 8-0, 9-1, all those good things. Picked up, trying to get to it is Heben. Grabbed, Otto feeds it into the Pioneer zone. Pioneer continuing to play very hard. That puck coming in, shot there to save by Ravelli. Good blast out there by Knapp. Ravelli with a good save. 7:03 left to go here in the second. 3-0 Livonia United. As Pioneer, 4 wins and 1 tie. Puck in along the far boards, gathered up by Heben. Heben trying to bring it through the zone. That saucers all the way back as Larson picks it up underneath the far circle in her own zone. Larson back behind her goal, trying to feed it across. Rosenfeld has it outside the near circle, battling a trio of Livonia players. Rosenfeld trying to pull that away, as now brought ahead down the near boards. Conti trying to get to it. So that's pulled over by Estella Young, but picked up by Otto. Otto has it poked away by Heben. Henderson trying to knock it away, and then puck loose. Grab now. Cundiff fires it deep into the Livonia zone. Larson chases it into the near corner. Larson trying to avoid pressure by Rosenfeld. Goes back behind her own goal. Feeds it down the far boards. That slips back to the far point. Held in there as that'll go right back behind by Cundiff. Puck sent outside the far circle. Centering attempt by Heben. That knocked away by Ferris. Puck in along the near boards. Back over to get to it. Here comes Conti. Conti coming down the near boards in a battle with Estella Young. Estella Young has been defensively good. Very solid today. Making it difficult on Livonia. Coming in. There's a shot by Heben and a good save by Ferris. That puck will go right back behind the goal as Howsett moved it over to Heben. Heben on the far circle. Shot got blocked out in front and covered up as Ferris makes the save. 5:34 left to go here in the second. 6-0. Livonia with the lead. Good crowd in here. We appreciate all the Livonia fans who made the drive over. Not too bad a drive. We never mind going over to Eddie Egger. they made the drive. Lots of Pioneer fans here as well. We're very grateful for everyone who gets a chance to come and see the game. If you wouldn't mind, Pioneer has a game at 1:45 tomorrow. Love to see you here. We unfortunately will be over on the west side of the state with Michigan women's hockey. And puck picked up in along the far boards, trying to bring it ahead. As that'll be sent back deep by Hammond. As that puck into the near corner of the Pioneer zone. Austin trying to keep it in right at the near point. Battle for it now. Stevens trying to feed it back deep. That picked up is Bergman trying to get it out of the zone. That slips right back into the neutral zone. Austin right back to center ice. Poked back there by Fainter. Now picked up. Coming through traffic is Howell. Makes a nifty move. Comes top of the far circle. Howell with a blast off the post. Trying to pick it up. That right into the slot. Good job to knock it away as Hammond was right there waiting for it. And puck gathered into the far corner. There's a shot on Ravelli. Trying to knock it down. Puck into the far corner. Now Pioneer trying to get it out of the zone. As battling back there was Bacalus. Austin put it back deep. Now Bacalus. She ends up down on the ice, losing an edge as that will get steered back in along the end boards. Picked up by Hammond. Hammond underneath the far circle. Grabbed by Bacalus. Bacalus ricochets it off the far board. That'll go all the way back into the Livonia zone. Grabbed by Howell. Howell banks it off the near board. That ahead to Stevens with 4:06 left to go here in the second. Stevens brings it ahead into the Pioneer zone, trying to weave through traffic. Good job by Bergman to knock that wide. Now Stevens has it onto that near circle. Stevens through the slot, backhanded shot. That deflected from a defender coming down the near boards. Here comes Bergman. Bergman through center ice. Bergman comes into Livonia zone. She puts a shot that just goes wide. Austin back to get to it into the far corner. Austin bringing it ahead as that'll go through the neutral zone. Picked up by Shipley. Shipley, who has a hat trick, onto the far circle. That got deflected. There's a blast by Esch. A good job. That ends up back behind the goal. Battle for it back there as Cundiff trying to battle a trio now of Livonia players trying to dig that out of there. Portinga comes in to help. That fired off the side of the net and goes right through the crease and along the near boards. Here comes Horvath. Horvath feeds it to the blue line. Chikachi coming down the far boards through center ice. Chikachi offside the call with 3:06 left to go here in the second. 6-0. Livonia with the lead. Livonia had 5 goals in the first. Pioneers seemed to settle down a little bit, only allowing 1 goal since the first. That at 7:23, and I hope I don't do the announcer's strings right now. Face-off in the far face-off circle. Portinga in taking the face-off versus Knapp. That puck in along the near boards. Roberts has it there. Roberts moves it into the neutral zone. Now coming ahead, Knapp has it onto the far circle. Shot there, good save as that puck outside the near circle. Ravelli with a great job. Now Knapp takes it, feeds it into the top of the near circle. Chikachi moving it away. Chikachi getting it ahead. Portinga racing back into Livonia zone, but Roberts gets to it first. Roberts into the far corner of her own zone. Ricochets it ahead. Chikachi trying to pull that away. Roberts again trying to poke it down the far boards. That gathered up. Esch has it there. Knocked away from Esch. Loose on that far circle. Now that blasted ahead to Shipley. Shipley trying to get past to Stella Young as they get tangled up. That puck will come back, and that is going to be a penalty as interference called, and I think it is going to be a Livonia power play. With 2:02 left to go, or excuse me, 2:20 left to go. One of those things with 2s and 0, as that is going to be a Pioneer penalty. Stella Young into the box. Now, that might be one of the penalties that wasn't a bad penalty to take, as if Shipley had gotten past her, it would have been very difficult one-on-one with Ravelli. So you say no penalty is good, but that would have put a heck of a lot of pressure on Ravelli. Shipley with 3 goals already. She is obviously an outstanding player. Portinga in to take the face off. Stevens on the other side. As that puck, top of the far circle. Now Austin trying to feed it back. Heben has it. Heben on that far circle. Heben trying to feed it down the far boards as she's trying to get past the Livonia defense in along the end boards. Heben takes it right back behind Ferris. Heben coming to the far side. That puck right back. as Horvath trying to hold it in. Horvath has to retreat. Now Esch has it down the far boards, trying to get past Alexis Young, bringing it in. As there is a shot out in front, Shipley there. And little pushing and shoving as emotions run high. As Heben goes into the box, and so does Shipley. So two number 24s as the officials try and get things calmed down. As Pioneer taking offense to what they thought was little extracurriculars with the goaltender, and Livonia taking offense to that. So I hope that emotions run a little bit lower and, well, I mean, in control. And we'll have a face-off in the far face-off circle. Those are offsetting penalties, so it will remain 5-on-4 as Woodside comes out for Pioneer. 1:48 left to go here in the second. And 1:25 left on the power play to Livonia. Trying to bring it out. There's a shot that just missed the top left-hand corner. Good blast by Livonia as Austin trying to keep it in at the near point. Austin feeding it over. Conti trying to get to it. Conti on that far circle. That knocked away by Cundiff. Good defensive play there. Coming down the near boards. As that right at the blue line. Horvath trying to come down the far boards. Now gathering up. Chikachi through the neutral zone. Knocked away by Knapp. Now coming in. Here comes Otto. Otto trying to get a shot away as Cundiff got her stick there. Puck deflected right back behind the goal. Now Otto spinning with it, trying to feed it out in front. That puck in along the near boards. As that fired right towards the crease, knocked down. 57 seconds left to go here in the period. Puck out in front and just missed as Knapp got right in the slot, and that puck just sailed a little to the far side of her. Shot there just goes wide with 43 seconds left to go. Conti trying to put it out in front. Now grabbed by Chikachi. That sent all the way down the ice. 16 seconds left in the power play. 34 seconds left to go here in the second. Puck gathered up by Austin. Back behind the goal. Austin coming down the far boards. Back into the neutral zone. Bergman trying to get to it. Now Alexis Young trying to move it down the near boards. Dunn trying to feed it into the zone. Hammond trying to get to it. 18 seconds left to go. Pioneer back to full strength. Howell gains his own. Howell trying to move through the slot. Howell onto the far circle. Shot there as that deflected off of someone out in front. Dunn has it. Now Bergman trying to move it away. Chikachi into the slot. That slips back into the neutral zone. And that will do it for the second period. As we will have an ice resurfacing, I believe. Yes, we will. As again, remember, Pioneer Women's Hockey is hosting a fundraiser. Check it out at Pwice, PWICE.net. And they are selling holiday wreaths. So if you would like a beautiful live holiday wreath, maybe you've been using a plastic one and it looks good, but you'd love a live one, you can certainly get that. They have a bunch of sizes, including one I think I bought last year that was too big for our doors. So you probably have bigger doors than I do. So please feel free and check that out. Help support this team as they are a fantastic team. And women's hockey is an amazing sport, and I would love to see more support for it, and I'd love to see it become an MHSAA sport one day. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you, and we will have a few messages from the MHSAA. Come back for the third period as Pioneer looking to make a big comeback, down 6-0.
Maybe you've seen the videos of the Specialized Sports Parent Support Group, or the kid holding a press conference to announce his retirement from sports. The problem is, they'd be really funny if there wasn't a lot of truth there. Multi-sport participation provides a healthier experience and lifestyle for kids and families. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Sportsmanship is still relevant in school sports. Good sportsmanship should be a given at our games. It's one of the primary reasons we have school sports to begin with, to help today's young people become tomorrow's community leaders. You can learn more about sportsmanship and download a full kit of sportsmanship ideas from the MHSAA website at mhsaa.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Why do high school sports really exist? For 99% of the participants, it's the biggest stage they will ever play on, and it provides the most educational value, teaching sportsmanship, ethics, integrity, hard work, and teamwork. It's about playing with local friends against local rivals and creating lifetime relationships. They build community spirit, and they're worthy of your continued support. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
If you're a recent high school or college graduate and still have a passion for the games you played in school, still remember the thrill of putting on the uniform, why don't you help us out and become a registered high school game official? Get out there and give something back to our kids. Visit the MHSA website for more information. There's help wanted, just whistle. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Integrity, commitment, love of the game. These traits describe the people high school sporting events can't start without. The officials. They're out there every day giving back to our kids. Let's give them the respect they deserve. Better yet, why don't you become one? Visit the MHSAA website for more information. There's help wanted, just whistle. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the Health and Safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
You're hearing it. The message is getting through to parents. Multi-sport athletes get injured less. Multi-sport athletes become better in their primary sport in the long run. And even though it's not why we play our games, multi-sport athletes are now getting recruited more than specialized athletes. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
You have to wonder sometimes how folks in the stands, so far removed from the action and who have probably never had any training, actually think they can see the play and apply the rules better than the officials assigned to a game. If you're that good, please register immediately at MHSAA.com. We need more officials on the playing surface and fewer in the stands. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Think of a high school game as a 4-lane highway. Coaches, players, officials, and spectators, each with their own lane. Sportsmanship depends on everyone not crossing over the line. Fans keep it between the lines when they cheer positively for their team. So don't cause an accident. Stay in your lane and let the coaches, players, and officials do their jobs. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. The Michigan Power Ratings will be used this year in soccer, basketball, and boys lacrosse to seed the district tournament in those sports, and you can follow along. Visit your school's page on the MHSAA website to see how your team is faring, and you can look at statewide lists as well. And if you see your team is missing a score, submit it. Learn more about the Michigan Power Rankings at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Well, good afternoon and welcome once again to the Michigan Amphitheater. You know, so much of the music we hear today is this pre-programmed electronic disco. You never get a chance to hear master bluesmen practicing their craft. By the year 2006, the music now known as the blues will exist only in the classical record department of your local public library. And so, this afternoon, while we still can, let us welcome from Ann Arbor, Michigan, Gary Lewis and his blues band. Gary Lewis and his blues band.
Did not mean for that to get into that music. I thought I'd replace that. Forgive me. As it is 15 minutes up on the clock. Offsetting penalty still has 12 seconds left to go. As Livonia United comes out onto the ice. They will be going left to right again in this period. They had 5 goals in the first, as it was a goal at 11:15. That was by Shipley at 13:10. It was Stevens at 12:49. It was Hammond at 11:52. It was Shipley. Then they scored at 28 seconds left. That was Stevens. Shipley got the hat trick at 7:23. And we are ready to go. I think they need to get 15 minutes back up on the clock. And we are missing one player for Pioneer. There we go. As we're ready to get back going here. Pioneer looking to make a huge third period comeback. Livonia would like to salt away this game as that puck tipped into the near corner. Estella Young going back to get it. Hammond right back behind her. Now Chikachi coming down the far boards. That puck held in at the far point. Bouncing puck out of midair. Grabbed by Ravelli. 14:44 left to go here in the third. 6-0. Livonia United has the lead. Face-off in the far face-off circle. Portinga in to take the face-off. Livonia brings out. Changing out their forwards. Knapp in to take the face-off versus Portinga. So that offsetting penalty now has expired. Face-off to Ravelli's right in the far face-off circle. Puck in along the far boards. Pioneer trying to get it out of the zone. Here comes Chikachi. Penalty upcoming. Delayed penalty as that puck will go in along the far boards. Touched up there. And we will have a Pioneer power play here in the third. That at 14:33 as Knapp goes into the box for hooking. So there'll be a Livonia penalty. Pioneer with the extra skater. Face-off in the near face-off circle. Portinga in to take the face-off. Shipley on the other side. That puck into the near corner. Pioneer trying to send it across. Now Heben has it. Top of the near circle. Heben goes high slot. Shot there. That got knocked off the back of a defender. As that was Roberts who took that off the back. Here comes Howell the other direction. Howell takes a shot on goal. Ravelli with the save. Shipley trying to get to it outside the far circle. Puts it right back in along the end boards. Heben has it there. Heben trying to move it to the blue line. That held in by Howell. Top of the far circle. Howell coming in. That one just over the crossbar. Sitting in the slot. Pulled away by Heben. Heben coming down the near boards. Heben trying to move it ahead. Now racing down into Livonia end. Howell trying to get to it before Chikachi. Howell back behind her own goal. Howell ricochets it off the far boards. That cleared all the way down the ice by Livonia as Heben goes back to get to it. She'll have it underneath the near circle. Heben coming ahead with it, trying to avoid pressure by Conti. Gets it over. Chikachi into Livonia zone. Chikachi trying to escape past. That puck over to Portinga. Portinga trying to fire it out in front. Saved by Ferris into the far corner. Otto has it there. Trying to knock it away. Portinga trying to fire it out in front. Austin deflects it. Now Heben with the shot. That went off of a defender. Coming the other direction. Here comes Livonia. Down the near boards is Austin. Alexis Young trying to tip that away as it comes in along the end boards. Horvath back over there. Trying to get it away from Austin. Austin trying to fire it out in front. That loose as Ravelli poked it away. Still loose. That comes into the near corner. Horvath with it. 22 seconds left to go in the Pioneer power play. 12:55 left to go here in the third. Puck on the far side of the goal. Now bringing it up. Here comes Chikachi. Chikachi trying to get past the defense. That tipped in along the far boards by Conti. Chikachi, top of the far circle. Chikachi, there's a shot off the side of the net. Goes right back behind. Trying to pull it in front is Heben. Heben off the side of the net. Heben back behind as that puck into the far corner. Comes outside the far circle in the Livonia zone. Coming ahead with it. Chipped right to the far point. Now they'll go down. Saucering back into the Pioneer end. As Livonia back to full strength. Cundiff has it in the far corner. Cundiff trying to move it right to center ice as that spins on edge and fired right back into Livonia end as Livonia touches up to avoid a delayed offsides. Back into the Pioneer end, by the way. Now coming ahead with it. That grabbed is Housen. Coming down the near boards, Housen. Over center ice, Housen. In a battle with Knapp, that puck comes away. Now Otto has it. Otto down the far boards. Otto trying to turn on some speed. That knocked away by Bergman. Now fired right back in by Heben as that'll be stopped by Ferris. Ferris leaves it for Roberts. Roberts underneath the far circle. Roberts now shifts back, going back behind her own goal from the near side, far side to the near side. That right, trying to knock it away is Henderson. Henderson goes from the near side to the far side, back behind her own goal. grabbed as that'll be sent all the way down the ice on edge. That's going to be icing with 11:27 left to go here in the third. Face-off back into Livonia end. That will be to Ferris's left in the far face-off circle. We really appreciate you watching and cheering on for either team that you are cheering for. We really appreciate your support of this amazing sport. And Stevens trying to win it into the far corner. Now that brought back in along the near boards. Roberts feeds it outside the far circle. Gathered up there by Hammond. Now bringing it ahead. Racing with it. With a head of steam comes Stevens. Stevens into the Pioneer zone. Shot there. Ravelli with the save. Puck underneath the near circle. Stevens grabs it there. Stevens trying to get past traffic. That puck held in at the near point. Now high slot for Henderson. Henderson coming in. Shot there and a goal. As Ravelli was screened, didn't see it coming, and that makes it 7-0. As Henderson with a blast from the blue line, she gets the goal at 10:55. That is Henderson's first goal of the game. And now, if Pioneer can't score and Livonia scores once more, the game will be over. Pioneer going to do everything they can to try and get a goal here, but Ferris has been fantastic between the pipes. Himmel has it right at center ice. Himmel into the Pioneer zone. Now grab. Cundiff feeds it along the near boards. This Pioneer team isn't going to stop battling, though. So they're going to do everything they can to try and compete in this game. Now Stevens coming down. Fires it down the far boards. That'll go deep into the Pioneer end, but from the wrong side of center ice. That will be icing and head back into the Livonia zone with 10:32 left to go here in the third. Shipley, Esch, Knapp, Srivastava, and Howe out there for Livonia. Portinga, Kung, Cundiff, Chikachi, as well as Berkman out there for Pioneer. And puck through the slot, trying to get to it as Kung. And in along the near boards, here comes Esch. Esch feeds it across. Puck down the near boards, gathered up by Knapp. Knapp trying to fire it deep into the Pioneer zone. That grab, Cundiff coming down the far boards, gets it back into the neutral zone. Cundiff feeds it deep into the Livonia zone. Ferris covers it up. Back behind the near boards, now coming ahead with it is Howe. Howe over on blue line. Howe coming down the far boards. And gathered up by Stella Young. She's trying to poke it away from Shipley. Shipley, who already has a hat trick, into the far corner. And gathered up by Knapp. Now picked up by Howe. Howe trying to skate through the slot. Howe with a shot that went off of a skate out in front. Esch trying to get to it. That off the side of the net. That comes on to the near circle. Howe picks it up. Steers it outside the near circle. Now trying to come through traffic. Howe onto the far circle. Backhanded shot. There was a stick in the way. Stella Young got a piece of it. Now that puck underneath the near circle. Here comes Cundiff. Cundiff trying to get past Livonia players. Esch holds it in. Here comes Howe on the near circle. Howe trying to get around Portinga. Howe shot at one. Saved by Ravelli. Chikachi has it. Coming down the far boards. Over the blue line. Chikachi trying to get away from Stevens. Now sent ahead by Kong. Kong gets it. And that back to the near point. And pulled ahead by Livonia. Alexis Young trying to get to it. Esch coming down with it. That poked away by Chikachi. Now Stevens trying to get to it. That's sent deep by Alexis Young into Livonia zone. Austin back to get to it into the far corner. Trying to avoid Alexis Young. Austin goes from the far side to the near side. Back behind the goal. Now sweeping it down the near boards. And picked up and going the other direction. As coming ahead with it. Here comes Stevens as that poked away in along the far boards. He'd been trying to knock it away. Stevens, wrap around attempt, fired. That got deflected out in front. Otherwise, a good shot opportunity right into the slot. Now trying to get a shot away there was Conti. Puck back, held in by Austin at the blue line. Now Larson trying to feed it back deep. And puck into the near corner of the Pioneer zone. 8:14 left to go here in the third. Now it saucers back into Livonia end. Austin has it, top of the near circle of his own zone. Woodside back to provide pressure. Now trying to get to it is Heben, but that fed ahead. That will be tipped, so no icing back into the Pioneer zone. Back over to get it is Horvath. Horvath back behind her own goal. Horvath down the far boards. That back to the far point. That slips past the far point. All the way back. Shot there by Hebing. And puck deflected back behind, coming down the near boards. Otto has it in the neutral zone. Otto over center ice. Otto gains the zone. Otto has it knocked away in along the far boards. Now Bergman picks it up back behind her own goal. Bergman underneath the near circle. Bergman trying to get it ahead to Woodside. Woodside gets it into the neutral zone. Larson chases it back into her own end. Heben right back behind her. Larson in along the end boards. Rims it all the way around the near boards. That comes back into the neutral zone. Otto tips it. Otto at her own blue line. That poked away. Good job by Rosenfeld. Now picked up by Heben on the far circle. Tipped away by Larson, and a penalty. That's a roughing call. Pioneer back on the power play with 7:02 left to go here in the third. So Larson for roughing. That at 7:02. Pioneer trying to take advantage of this and find a way to beat Ferris. Hoping if they can get one goal in, that might change the complexion of the game. Obviously, Livonia has other plans. Hammond puts it down the far boards. That chipped. Alexis Young trying to hold it in. Now coming down the near boards. Here comes Hammond. Hammond gains his own. Hammond trying to get around Portinga. Good job by Alexis Young to drive that wide. Now picked up by Heben in along the far boards. Heben bringing it ahead. Heben backhands is now come down into the Livonia end, but quickly shot the other direction. Banks off the near board, icing waved off. Estella Young goes back to get to it, back behind her own goal. 1:30 left to go in the Pioneer power play. Coming ahead with it. Estella Young gains the zone. There's a shot, just goes wide. Back behind Ferris. And into the far corner. Trying to set it up. Portinga with a shot that got blocked out in front. Now coming the other direction. Here comes Knapp. Knapp down the near boards. Knapp gets into the Pioneer zone. Knapp has that pinned by Chikachi right along the near boards. Now Howell trying to fire it back deep. Heben has it in the near corner of her own zone. 57 seconds left to go here in the power play. 5:55 left to go in the third period. Pioneer down 7-0. Looking to try and cash in on this power play. Coming down the far boards. Heben has it into the Livonia zone, but Stevens brings it the other direction. Stevens right back behind her own goal. Stevens gets ahead of Steen. She comes over the blue line. Stevens trying to get around Heben. Stevens puts on the Jets on the far circle. Shot there. Ravelli with the save. That comes in along the near board. Chikachi with it. Dunn trying to keep it in, but that back into the neutral zone. Henson fires it right back in. That puck right at center ice. Here comes Portinga. Portinga into the zone. Portinga, top of the near circle. Centering attempt gets pulled away. Now the other direction with it is Stevens. Stevens trying to beat out Housen. Stevens into the slot. Shot there. Blocker saved by Ravelli into the far corner. Portinga picks it up down the far boards. Portinga looking to start the attack for Pioneer. Shipley back out there for Livonia. Portinga shot from the blue line and covered up by Ferris. 4:53 left to go here in the third. 7-0 to lead by Livonia. Pioneer has a face-off in the Livonia zone. Pioneer will take it on the far face-off circle. Feinter in to take the face-off. Woodside to her right. Housen to her left. Cundiff and Estella Young are the defenders. On the other side is Stevens. And puck back to the blue line, held in by Estella Young. Estella Young takes a shot. That knocked down by Ferris into the far corner. Henderson trying to fire it ahead. Estella Young stops it at the far point. She works her way top of the far circle. Now Woodside trying to get to it. Henderson again firing it down the far boards. Estella Young again holds it in at the far point. That saved by Ferris in along the near boards. Housen trying to put it back. That'll come down into the neutral zone. Estella Young races back into her own zone to get to it. Pressure by Esch back there. Down the far boards, Estella Young gains the zone. She'll take a shot. Ferris will kind of steer that. The pad into the near corner. Now slip past, and they'll go deep into the Pioneer zone. Pioneer player touched it, so no icing. Picked up by Estella Young back behind her own goal. as also the penalty, the power play, as that'll come back. And that'll be icing the other direction. 3:56 left to go here in the third. 1:03 left to go in the power play. Face-off in the near face-off circle. Stevens in to take the face-off. Portinga on the other side. 1:03 left in the power play for Pioneer. That puck top of the far circle. Now Portinga trying to bring it down the near boards. Portinga gets some speed, fires it deep into the Livonia zone, that into the far corner. Heben has it in the far corner, centering attempt for Portinga. That one knocked away, loose on that far circle. Now fired out in front. Oh, trying to get a piece of it, Chikachi, but Ferris got a pad on it. That'll come ahead. Here comes Howe. 38 seconds left in the Pioneer power play, and a glove save by Ravelli. Oh, otherwise that might have caught the top right-hand corner. Howe had good precision, but a good glove save by Ravelli at 3:22 left to go here in the third. Portinga in to take the face-off versus Knapp. That comes back. Roberts from the high slot goes into the far corner. Horvath trying to get to it. Roberts has it outside the far circle, right back behind the Pioneer goal. And along the near boards, Alexis Young trying to feed it away from Otto. Otto has it, top of the far circle. Now Knapp chips it. 12 seconds left in the Pioneer power play as Larson holds it in at the near point. Now top of the near circle, coming in with it is Otto. Otto with a shot. That got caught in a pair of skates. Still loose just outside the crease. Coming ahead with it, Chikachi. Back to full strength is Livonia. Now Roberts right in front of the penalty bench. That pulled away by Heben over to Chikachi. Chikachi into the slot. And knocked away. Good defense back over there. As that was Knapp knocking it away. Now that puck in along the near boards. Gathered up outside the near circle. Portinga trying to put it back. Deep. That'll be moved across the ice. Yeah, bringing it ahead. Here comes Roberts. Roberts gains his own. Cundiff in front. Roberts coming in looking for a backhanded attempt that just went wide. Bergman trying to knock it in along the far boards. 2:12 left to go here in the third. 7-0. This point Pioneer would love to get a goal, but they'd also just like to make this game go the full 45 minutes. Coming the other direction. Here comes Heben. Heben knocks it over. Gathered up. Ricocheted off the near board, but held in by Portinga at the near point. All the way across, grab there. Coming in with it, Rosenfeld. And knocked down and saved by Ferris. Puck back behind the goal. Rosenfeld trying to get to that as she was on her backside. Now coming the other direction. Fed into the neutral zone by Larson. Back into the Pioneer end with 1:35 left to go. That's going to be icing. Livonia still gets a change. High school hockey, but that'll come back into Livonia end. 7-0 Livonia with the lead. They will stay undefeated. Pioneer will pick up their first loss, but again, the first period was a rough first period for Pioneer. They were able to settle things down, and Livonia's only got one goal per period since then. So it looked like it was going to be a very quick game at the beginning. Down the near boards, coming ahead with it is Howell. That knocked away, coming in. There's a shot by Bacalus. Right back behind Bacalus. Has it underneath the near circle. Bacalus fires it out in front, trying to get to Rosenfeld. Wouldn't settle down. 1:17 left to go. Headed the other direction. Here comes Stevenson. Stevenson trying to get in. That poked away. Good job by Alexis Young to get a stick on it. Stevenson taking it back behind the goal. Underneath the near circle. Coming around with it. Shot there. Just goes wide into the far corner. Looking to get a hat trick like Shipley has. 1 minute left to go here in the third period. Held in by Howe. Now top of the far circle. Shot there by Esch. Just goes wide. Coming in. There's a blast and a save by Ravelli. 48.6 seconds left to go. Hope that Soriano's going to be all right. She's in a chair on the side of the bed as she's cheering on Ravelli. Love to see different players supporting each other. That is awesome. 48.6 seconds left to go. That puck in along the near boards, turning with it. Coming in with it is Stevens. That just misses the top Post knocked away as that tried to bank off the dasher and make it tough. There's a shot that just goes wide with 34 seconds left to go. Blast! Howell with a one-timer from the blue line. That comes in along the far board. Stevens with it there. Trying to poke it away is Woodside, now battling. Trio of Pioneers, that comes back into the neutral zone. Livonia will have to touch up to avoid a delayed offsides. Conti has it. Conti trying to bring it right back in. Woodside sends that to the blue line. Now Heben trying to mark it back, fire it back deep. It's 13 seconds left to go. Now 11 seconds left to go. That puck down the far boards. Trying to fire it back deep is Estella Young. 5 seconds left to go. As that puck into the zone, there's a shot by Howell and covered up by Ravelli, and that will do it. As Livonia wins 7-0, but again, 5 goals in the first, and Pioneer really settled down. Ravelli made some amazing saves. Pioneer not able to crack the fantastic goalkeeper that Ferris is. They do pick up their first loss, but you gotta feel good that they were able to settle things down and really make this a much better game the second and third period, get all the way to the end of the game, and that's an experience that they'll be able to take later on in the season and build off of being in a tough position and still fighting hard. Livonia cruises to a 7-0 win. They stay undefeated at 4-0. Again, Pioneer will have a game tomorrow. Let me pull up the schedule here. And that will be here at Veterans. No, excuse me. That's going to be at Bloomfield Birmingham. So at Bloomfield Birmingham's place, 1:45. Where is Bloomfield Birmingham's place? I should know this. We've been there before plenty of times. That looks like that's going to be at the Detroit Skating Club. So that's going to be at 1:45 tomorrow. Please come on out. Check out the team. It should be a good game. And we will be on the road out to a game versus Aquinas for the Michigan women's hockey team. Thank you very much. I don't think we're going to have another high school game. So I don't think there are any high school games the week of Thanksgiving. So I hope you folks have an amazing Thanksgiving. Thank you for, we have the privilege to do this. It is quite an honor for my cameraman, James Wiseman. My name is Mark Wiseman. Thank you very much for supporting these fantastic players. Please continue to get here in person if you can. If you can't, thank you for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day and a great holiday. Take care, everybody.